Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bronson Rants, and today I want to talk about downloadable content for games. Now, if you've been playing Mortal Kombat or heard about Mortal Kombat, I'm sure you heard about the recent DLC story where a lot of the game's content is locked behind a paywall or locked behind pre-orders, and then a lot of the game's in-game unlockables, you have to play this mode known as the Crypt, and it is boring, you just don't care. And if you want to skip that, though, you can pay them $20. And I found this to be asinine. Like, just the most ridiculous, horrible thing ever. In Mortal Kombat 9, they had the Crypt, and everyone complained about it. And then they said, instead of making a better way to unlock this stuff, let's do that again. But if they want a way around it, let's make them pay $20. Because money. And I don't think DLC is necessarily a bad thing. I might give a little bit of a history lesson here. I remember during the early days of DLC, what you would call the first DLC, even though it was like the first expansion packs for PC games, they were fairly priced. Like, you have the full game, all the stuff that you're not getting now, skins, cheat codes, all that stuff. A perfect example is Warcraft 3. You got a full meaty game. And then the expansion pack would come out. It'd usually be half the price of a full game. And it would come with a bunch of extra stuff, new characters, a couple new story modes, some additional stuff for multiplayer, and you'd be great, and that'd keep you going until the next game. And then over time, it started to be like, okay, these are downloadable. And the PC, you got your expansion packs through downloads. Yeah, the disc version still existed, but most people I know got almost every WoW expansion through download. And then on the console front, when DLC first came out, it was like, hey, $5, get like these 4 Halo maps. They were fairly priced. It was meaningful content. And when a shift started to happen was on the 360. What used to be free on the PC and what used to be really cheap and really quality content on the original Xbox and early console DLC was now just like stuff that used to be unlockable in games. I remember that like Madden had the alternate uniforms for sale for like $3 a piece, and I was like, you're kidding. Like, I could not believe that at the time. And like right now, this unlockable thing is a case of that. And it's because of bloated industry budgets for games and publishers getting greedy, and then also trying to get you to pre-order and commit to their game before you know what it is. So they lock stuff behind away pre-order bonuses. If you didn't get the pre-order bonus, you can pay us an extra $5-10. It's all just really dirty and shady and shitty. Of course, not every company does this. Some of them do like legit DLC. The Last of Us was a good example of that, where you paid, I believe it was $10, $15. You got another 3 hours of Last of Us with a really engaging, neat story. The Walking Dead, there was 400 days, $5. Another 2 hours of The Walking Dead. All these cool little side stories, some new gameplay stuff, and it branches into the next game. MMOs obviously don't have this problem. And I feel the only way to fix this is if we as gamers and the consumers say no. Tell the greedy publishers, which that's what they are. They're just straight up being greedy publishers. No, fuck you. I'm not going to pre-order your game. I'm not going to buy your DLC. I'm going to wait for the reviews, wait for the game to actually get some buzz behind it. And if it seems good, I'll pick it up. And the only DLC I'm going to buy is meaningful content. And then maybe they'll stop locking stuff behind paywalls. The fact that, like, Gears of War 3 was a really good one, where, like, all the guns had hundreds of skins, pink, gold, leopard print, like, every color and type of pattern you can imagine for a skin for your gun. Like, 90% of them locked behind a paywall. I think if you want to get all the DLC for that game, it was some ridiculous amount of money, like $300, or like $200 plus. It was just fucking insanity, and people bought it. Why would you do that? Why would you buy that? Yes, I would love a, golden lancer. That's super cool. I'm not paying $2 for it. I'm just not. And I feel as like everyone as a whole needs to take this stance. I know it can be hard. You know, especially for a game like Mortal Kombat, where like, oh, I would love to play as Predator, but no, Predator should just be a thing in the game. And I'm not saying all DLC is bad. Some DLC is really good. You know, like I said, Last of Us had great DLC. Infamous, even though it's technically a standalone game, that First Light was pretty cool DLC. Smash Brothers, like you're getting two characters, they're way after release, and they're really well done. There were Mario Kart has great DLC where you're getting all these tracks, all these carts and characters, and it's just $12. It's not this just constant nickel and diming you for every little penny you have because you want these cool extras. That used to be just part of the game. I remember playing like NBA Jam back in the day, and like Big Head mode was just part of the game. I remember playing, even as early as the PS2. Like, now when you buy, like, a Resident Evil... Like, if Resident Evil 4 came out today, Mercenaries mode would have been an add-on, and all the cool costumes and extras you would have had to pay for. I was surprised that was not the case in Resident Evil 5, when it came out in, like, 09... No, 09. Came out in 09. Like, Batman's coming out, right? And Batman's by the same publisher as Mortal Kombat. I really hope that's not like this thing where it's like, well, if you want to play as Robin, like, even the trailer for that game has it. It's like, okay, a new trailer just came out today. You can play as Robin, Catwoman, and Nightwing. But at the very end of the trailer, well, if you want to play as Harley Quinn, you better pre-order. It's like, fuck! That should just be part of the game. I shouldn't have to commit my fucking money to you. Let me... Oh, my God. It's just so frustrating. It's unbelievably frustrating. And what's worse is the people who are doing DLC right. Nintendo, 343, who else is doing Naughty Dog. Call of Duty even does DLC relatively well. About 3 map packs come out. They're 15, about 3 months, map pack comes out every 3 months. I believe it's $15 each. That is meaningful content added to those Call of Duty games, I don't get into Call of Duty, but that's meaningful content for those games. They're fairly priced, and they keep you going to the next Call of Duty. The problem is this shitty DLC is making even good DLC look bad, and I don't think all DLC is bad. Like I said earlier, a lot of DLC is really great. Undead Nightmare, super cool. Rock Band is a perfect example. I have spent hundreds of dollars on Rock Band DLC because it's meaningful content. And that's what DLC should be. It should be content for the game that is extra, that adds on to the experience far post-release. Once you have got everything you can out of that game, you now go back to it, pay an extra $10 to at most $20, and get a couple more hours, or many more hours, depending on the kind of game it is. In the case of a fighting game, a couple new characters. It shouldn't be the case like Persona 4 Arena launched last year, and if you download these 2 characters within the first 2 weeks, they're free, but after that, they're $5 forever. It's just like, damn it, no! And I kind of miss the days of the old PC games, where it was, you got this full big game, and then 6 months to a year down the line, you pay us half the price of the game. So at the time, it was $25 to $30. Now it would just be $30. And you got an expansion pack that was almost like an entirely new game itself. Anyway, that's my little tangent on DLC. I don't think all DLC is bad, but I think that there's enough bad DLC out there that it makes good DLC, the Lost and Damned, the Mario Karts, the even Call of Duty, which is weird to say, look bad. Anyway, this has been Bronson Rants. I'll be back next week.
Access granted.